camera. This one actually fits the 300mm lens. Get out. Good afternoon and welcome to this week's vlog. Something a bit different this week. A couple of friends of mine are doing a what's in my bag not review, what's in my bag video. So they've asked me to join them on that, so I thought, well, I ain't done one for a while, so why not? So where do we start? What's in my bag? So I suppose we better start with the bag. The bag I use is this one. It's not on the table because it's a bit big. It's actually the Low Pro 250 AW. It does everything I need it to do. It's got a bottom compartment there that opens up. You can fit your camera, I can fit my filters in there, spare lens, the trigger release, I'll show you that in a bit. And then there's a space in the top here for a different lens or two, or the lens bore, we'll come to that in a bit as well. And the tripod will fit quite easily on the side there. It's quite weighty, but it sits on the back really quite comfortably. It's got plenty of straps on it. It's been my best bag till now. So that's that one. That's the main bag that I use. And if I was going out for a day somewhere and I just want to take the camera and I wasn't taking filters, then I would take this little guy. Bag Smart make this one, and it fits the camera and it fits another lens. And if you really want to go to town, the lens bag there will actually clip to it as well, which makes that quite convenient, and you can get a little joby tripod to sort of sit in one of the side pockets, and it makes it quite a handy bag if you want to travel light. Don't always take it, it's very now and then. Normally take the backpack so I can take everything in there. But yeah, really handy bag to take if you're going on a day trip to, say, I don't know, from here to Cheltenham, Bath, London, something like that. And you don't want to take the whole bag. So yeah, so that's the bags. Camera. Most of you will know that I use the Pentax K1. Great camera. 36 megapixel camera. It's got GPS. It's got Astro. It's got the pixel shift function, which a few of you I know are quite keen on. You get a lot of camera for your money. Not the best liked camera out there. They've got a bit of a bad press, but I like them. They deliver what I want, and it's actually voted probably one of the best landscape cameras by Tony and Chelsea actually. They really liked it for landscapes. Didn't like it for much else, but for landscapes, which is what I use it for mainly. They really liked it. Coupled onto the camera, I've got the 24-70 f2.8 lens. It's a very good lens actually, for landscapes, portraits, for anything really. It's a really handy lens. It's the only full frame, well, I say it's the only full frame lens I've got. It's the only full frame Pentax lens that I've got. I've got this one which used to fit my K3 as well as the K1. I've no longer got the K3 now, but this is the Sigma 50-500 lens, which I've shot the moon with, birds in flight with. It's a very heavy lens. There's no getting away from it. It's huge. I will just demonstrate this for you, just to show you just how big this lens actually is when it's all put together and fully extended to 500mm. It extends quite a bit. So yeah, not the sort of thing that you really want to be carrying around too often, really. So I only take it out now and then if I know I'm going to be needing to use it for whatever reason, whether that be a bird in flight or whether I'm likely to catch the moon. Use it quite a lot here in the garden to photograph the moon. So yeah, much cheaper version than the Pentax version, a much cheaper version. but it does what I want it to do. 55 to 300 lens is probably what I use more, and I've just managed to get hold of a 2x teleconverter. It means it's got to be manually focused. It's not got the metal the contacts for the autofocus, but it's, as you can see, it's a much more manageable lens than the 50 to 500, even if you haven't got quite so much reach. It's a nice sharp lens. It is mainly for a crop sensor camera, but because the Pentax system is all K-mount, you can interchange the lenses, and the Pentax has actually got a crop sensor function on it. So you can turn that on, and what you see is what you get on the camera, so it's quite handy, that. Which is why I stuck with Pentax in the first place, because all the lenses are all interchangeable with all of the cameras. So it's really good. A few of you may be watching the Monday Night Macro series, and for that I use my 100mm macro lens. It is a 1:1 macro lens, a dedicated macro lens, and it's lovely, to be honest. Again, this would suit the crop sensor or the full frame camera, but I use it obviously on the K1. I haven't got the K3 anymore. I sold the K3 to get the M50, which I'm filming this on now. But yeah, I managed to get this second hand on eBay for a lot less than what the price was, and it's a really lovely lens. If you haven't seen any of the macro series yet, I'll put the link up in the description up here, and I'll put a link up the top here to go and watch the series if you're interested. So just recently I have managed to purchase 2 more second-hand lenses. This is a kit lens. This is the 18 to 55 kit lens, and this is the 50 to 200 kit lens as well. You usually get these come with a crop sensor camera in a kit. I managed to get these second hand with the 2x teleconverter, very cheap and very local. But my idea behind this is that I'm going to get a reversing ring to put on the front of these. I can then turn the lens round for macro and use it backwards to see how close I can get up to some flowers or some little bugs that I find, and hopefully that will put a different swing on Macro Monday. So both of those are for that. I've also managed to purchase this light ring, which is for the macro. Very handy bit of kit, just sits on the front of the lens. I think I will demonstrate basically what it does. I'll just take that off. You get like the adapter ring, and that just screws onto the front of your lens. The light then clips to the front of your lens, and then that would sit on the camera, and it literally just lights up right in front, lights up your subject really nicely. I've just sort of started to get into using a flash as well, and trying to mix it about a little bit, whichever suits better for the subject. But that's the light ring. What else have I got? I've got the leaf filter system. I've got the leaf filter system because basically I've got a lot of lenses, or I had a lot of lenses, and all it meant was that I had to get this ring to fit the lenses rather than all different filters. So that ring would go on the front of the lens. I'll get it the right way around. The system then clips to that lens, and you can put your filters in however you want. I've got different adapter rings for different lenses, and like I said, that's all you've got to really change. Okay, so what filters have I got? First and foremost is the landscape polarizer. It's a must-have if you're doing anything with water, anything shiny. Takes that reflection, takes the glare off. So it's a must-have, and it's the one filter that you can't replicate in Lightroom. So if you don't use it when you're out on a shoot, you're not going to get it back in Lightroom. All the others you can sort of work without to a degree. The Lee Pro Glass, this is the 2-stop Pro Glass. Nice bit of kit, just slows everything down a little bit if I need it to. I've then got the 10-stop, and most recently used is the 15-stop. I haven't got the little stopper, but I have got the Pro Glass one, so don't really need it. And then I've got the ND Grad. I don't use this one very often, but this is the soft edge, and I think this is the medium edge. Yeah, that's the medium edge. And then I've also got the 0.9 medium edge as well. So that's the soft, actually. Yeah, that's the 0.9 soft edge Grad. And at the moment I'm finding that I'm not really needing anything else. They do a 1.2 medium edge Grad that I might look into in the future, but for now I think I've probably got all the filters that I probably need. So that's the filter kit, all the adapter rings, and what you can get if you've got the adapter ring on the front of your camera. This one actually fits the 300mm lens. This one actually fits the 300mm lens, so rather than having to take it on, take it off, that sort of thing, it means that you can screw that on the front of the lens. You can clip your adapter to the front of that, so it means that you can put all your filters in, but rather than take all that off again, you just put the cap over it to protect the end of the lens. So these come in packs of 3, and get them on eBay. They're ever so cheap, but they're much less hassle than having to do this all the time. When you're out and about, you can just put the white cap on and you're good to go. So got a few of those, and they're all the same size because all these rings end up being the same size. Cable release. Doing long exposures, you're going to need one. Push the button, lock it up, keep the shutter open for as long as you need to, release it. It's as simple as that. Pair of gloves. If you're going to be out, it's going to be getting cold, especially in winter months. Having said that, it's nearly 16, 17 degrees out there today, and it's still only February, so a bit of a heat wave, but good idea to always have a pair of gloves in your bag. This is probably the most important bag in the bag, because this is where all the batteries are kept for the cameras. That's for the M50 that you're filming you on, and my main camera as well. 2 spare batteries for this camera, and I've got 2 spare batteries for the M50, and I've also got a couple of just normal batteries for the lights and other bits and pieces. So essential, must have a battery bag, definitely. You don't want to get sort of hiked up somewhere and realise that you haven't got enough battery power, so batteries are a major part of it. Highly recommend getting something like that. Cloths to keep your lenses clean. If you're spitting with rain, snowing, something like that, you can wipe your lenses off. And just recently I've been and got the lens ball, so you can give it a bit of a polish before you put on its little stand. We'll take a photo so you know there's no marks on it. They're quite expensive. I got the Lee ones, but you don't have to get those. There's just a nice microfiber cloth will do the job. I just happened to get these. I think I had a bit of a special offer on them actually, so I got those. Memory cards for the camera, almost as important, well probably as important as the batteries. So I carry quite a few memory cards. All these memory cards are all empty, all ready to go, so I'm never short of memory, and if one should fail, the camera there has got 2 card slots, so I can just swap the cards over and carry on. Little Joby, clings to things. It's quite a handy little tripod. If I wasn't taking the big tripod with me that you're sat on, then I would take this, it folds up, and the camera would sit on there, and it's quite a nice little sort of vlogging camera. Briefly mentioned the lens ball. Now I've started to take this with me most times I go out, and it's quite hefty, it's quite weighty. It comes with a little glass stand, and it's quite handy sort of bit of kit to take around. I'm getting some quite nice effects with it. Quite glad I got one. What else have I got? Oh, yeah, big tripod. This is the Manfrotto 190. It's almost identical to the 055 series. This is the carbon version. It is solid as a rock. The camera does not move on this thing. It's a fantastic tripod. Got a nice Manfrotto ball head attached to the top, and what I've done, it come with the quick release plate when it came, so I've changed the top with the top on the other Manfrotto one. So I've got the locking plate, and that one's got the quick release plate on it now, because I've got the L bracket on my camera, which means that I can put it quite quickly into portrait or landscape mode, and the camera is actually sat on top of the tripod rather than it being on the side and sort of off balance. It can be a bit off balance, so at least it sits on top of the tripod for panoramics, and that's perfect. I mentioned long exposures. I've got the filters for long exposures. I looked around online for quite a while to find a little cap to go over the back of the eyepiece of the camera, and I couldn't find any anywhere. In actual fact, it was a shop in town that helped me out with a Canon one to fit this, and it wasn't very good. So I looked online. These are just for any camera, they reckon, and they got a little clip so you can clip them to something on the inside of your bag, I would have thought. And if I'm doing a long exposure, I would just lift off that eyepiece and clip on that eyepiece, and that stops any light getting into your eyepiece when you're doing a long exposure. Very essential if you're doing sort of anything of any duration, 2, 3, 4, 5 minute long exposures. You'll need to be covering that eyepiece to stop the light leaks getting in there. And these are ideal. I think I got 10 for about £1.26, some sort of weird price like that. They've come from overseas, and it took about 4 weeks to get here. I don't carry all this stuff. Obviously I don't carry the macro lights. I don't carry those. I carry that very rarely. The macro lens sometimes comes with me, but not often. So basically what you see on the table now is what I would generally take in my bag most times, and all that fits in the bag really quite nicely. So I've got the camera, I've got the 55 to 300, I've got cable release, the filter system, the gloves, the batteries and the memory, block out the light, caps for the lenses and the batteries, and obviously a very sturdy tripod. Brings us to the end of a what's in my bag video. Hope you've enjoyed it. I haven't babbled on for too long. I'll leave links to whatever I can in the description below. If you've got any questions at all about any of the kit, then please leave a message in the comments. Please write in the comments. Happy to help, happy to answer any questions that you might have, anything that I've missed, anything that you think I might have missed. Anyway, or if you want to see anything gone over in more detail. I'm not a review channel really, I don't do reviews. Not saying that I won't ever do reviews, but at this moment in time I don't do any reviews. So on that note, I hope you've enjoyed it. Please like, share, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Give it a thumbs up, and if you do subscribe, hit the little bell in the bottom corner, and that will notify you when the videos come up. They come up every Monday and Thursday. Macro Monday is at 6, and the normal vlog like this one is on Thursday at 6. So that's what's in my bag. So go and check out Rachel just here and Tom just here, and find out what they got in their bags. I'll see you next time.